Welcome back to the Quarterly Call. All content is for informational purposes and is not investment advice. Please consult with an investment professional. Buckle up, because today we're diving into Nvidia and AI.
It's moving so fast.
Yeah, and they're doing some pretty mind-blowing things.
They're really pushing the boundaries, weaving together hardware and software.
One of the things that really caught my eye was this idea of scaling laws for AI. Training AI with massive amounts of data, like the entire internet.
Yeah, pushing the limits. Imagine an AI that starts to understand language and culture and human behavior in a way that's never been possible before.
It's pretty wild. But it's not just the amount of data, right? There's also this post-training, like giving AI a personal coach to help it level up.
Right, refining its skills, like a talented athlete with the best coaches in the world. Post-training helps AI specialize.
And then there's this third scaling law, focusing on how much an AI thinks when it's being used.
So instead of just spitting out responses, it can break down a problem, consider solutions, even use tools like calculators to get the right answer.
Okay, that sounds a lot more like actual intelligence. What does that mean for the future of AI applications?
Well, think about AI agents collaborating with humans in real time, adapting to new situations, coming up with solutions we haven't thought of.
So it's not just about power, it's about making AI more adaptable, more collaborative.
Exactly. And they're doing this by combining these scaling laws with hardware like the Blackwell GPUs, designed for these massive AI workloads.
Okay, let's talk about those GPUs. They're claiming some crazy performance numbers.
The new RTX 50 series is a big leap. We're talking about GPUs that can render unbelievably realistic graphics and use AI to enhance gaming to scientific research.
I saw that demo of neural rendering, where the graphics card predicts what you're going to see. It only renders some of the pixels and lets AI fill in the rest.
Like an AI co-pilot for your graphics card, creating smoother visuals, boosting performance.
But the applications go way beyond gaming, right?
Oh, yeah. Imagine using neural rendering to create immersive VR for training surgeons or pilots, or photorealistic special effects in movies.
It sounds like science fiction. Okay, so we've got these powerful GPUs and we've got these scaling laws for AI. How does it all come together in the real world? What applications are they targeting?
That's where it gets really interesting. Nvidia is developing world foundation models, like Cosmos AI, which is trained on massive amounts of video data.
Okay, hold on. World Foundation Model. What is that?
It's an AI that's learning to understand the physical world like we do. Cosmos is being trained on 20 million hours of video. It's starting to grasp things like gravity and physics.
Things we take for granted, but are super hard for computers to figure out.
Exactly. Understanding the physical world is crucial for robotics and self-driving cars, things that need to interact with the real world.
So they're building AI that can understand and navigate the physical world.
That's what's so exciting. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities.
All right, so they're training AI to understand the real world, but how are they using that knowledge? What real-world applications are they working on?
One of the key areas is robotics. They're building robots that can learn by watching humans in virtual reality.
So robots that can learn by example, not just pre-programmed instructions.
Exactly. It's a much more intuitive and flexible way for them to learn, and it's powered by Cosmos and its understanding of the physical world.
Amazing. So what can these robots do? Give me some examples.
Imagine robots assisting in surgery, performing dangerous tasks in disaster zones, or caring for the elderly.
This is starting to sound less like science fiction and more like the near future. But is this technology only for big companies?
That's the cool part. Nvidia is developing a tiny AI supercomputer. You can put it on your desk. It's like having the power of a data center.
A supercomputer on my desk. You're kidding, right?
Nope, it's real. Cutting-edge AI will be available for everyone, individuals and small businesses. It could lead to an explosion of innovation.
Startups, students, artists.
Everyone. The possibilities are endless. It's incredible how Nvidia is approaching AI. It's so holistic.
What do you mean?
Well, they're thinking about the big picture, not just the hardware and software, but the ecosystem, the applications, even the ethical implications. They get that AI is more than just tech. It could reshape our world.
So they're trying to build a future where AI is a partner, collaborating with humans to solve big problems.
Exactly. And a big part of this is physical AI. Remember those world foundation models, like Cosmos? They're using them to create realistic simulations in Omniverse, their virtual world platform.
Right. So instead of static data sets, AI can learn in interactive environments.
Yeah.
Closer to how we learn.
Yes. And because these simulations are physically grounded, they can generate something called synthetic data.
Wait, Synthetic data, what is that? Why is it so important?
Think of it as artificial data that mimics the real world. It's super valuable for training AI because you can create huge data sets that would be impossible to collect in real life.
Got it. So instead of a self-driving car driving millions of miles, they can use a virtual world and simulate every scenario to get tons of data faster and safer.
Exactly, and that's just one example. Think about training robots for disaster relief. Instead of putting them in danger, they can learn in a safe simulation.
A metaverse for robots. But how do these simulated robots learn?
One technique is imitation learning. The robots watch humans doing tasks in VR, and they learn by imitating.
Like a robot apprentice.
It's really effective. The robots can transfer those skills to the real world because the simulations are so realistic.
Wow. So are they only focusing on software and simulations? What about the robots themselves?
Of course not. They just announced a new robotics processor, Thor. It's 20 times faster than their previous chip, Orin.
20 times faster.
Yeah.
Wow. What will that do for the robots?
It means they can process information and react so much faster, they'll be more agile, adaptable, more useful in the real world.
Sounds like a robotics revolution is coming.
Hmm.
And Nvidia is at the forefront. What applications will have the biggest impact soon?
Healthcare is one. Imagine AI robots helping surgeons in the operating room. Precision and dexterity beyond human capabilities.
It's almost too much to imagine.
And it's not just surgery. AI could analyze medical images, helping doctors find diseases sooner, more personalized treatments.
So healthcare could be more accessible, affordable,
Hmm.
and effective. What other industries will be transformed?
Manufacturing, for sure. We already talked about robots assembling products in virtual factories. But AI could optimize production lines, predict maintenance, even design new products.
So it's not about replacing workers. It's about enhancing their capabilities, making them more productive, efficient, more creative.
Exactly. And this applies to so many industries. Finance, transportation, education, entertainment. We're just starting to explore the potential of AI.
Okay, my brain is full. But what about potential downsides? Risks and challenges we need to be aware of?
That's a great question. Like with any powerful tech, there's potential for misuse. We need to consider the ethics of AI, making sure it's developed and used responsibly. Fairness, transparency, accountability.
I agree. We need to think about things like bias in algorithms, impact on jobs. What if AI is used for bad things?
Yeah, these are complex issues. We need policymakers, researchers,
Mm-hmm.
industry leaders to work together
Yeah.
to establish guidelines and regulations so AI is used for good and everyone benefits.
We're at a crossroads. We need to choose the right path. Embrace the potential, but be careful.
Finding the balance, not letting fear stop us, but not being reckless either. Caution and optimism. Working together so AI empowers us, not diminishes us.
Okay, let's go back to the Nvidia tech. Tell me more about the tiny AI supercomputer.
Project Digits. Amazing how they got that much power into such a small device.
How powerful are we talking? What can it do?
It can run the whole NVIDIA AI stack, training complex AI models, processing tons of data.
So I could have the same AI power on my desk as a big corporation. That's incredible.
That's the beauty of technology, giving everyone access to these tools, individuals, small teams. It opens up so much possibility for innovation.
Students doing AI experiments, startups, artists, all from their desktops.
Yes, empowering people to explore AI, experiment, create, push the boundaries, and that's what NVIDIA is doing.
It could be huge for so many fields. But what about those 3 robots Jensen Huang talked about?
Yeah.
Agentic robots.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars. Humanoid robots.
Ah, yes, those are the robots everyone's talking about, the cutting edge, reshaping our world.
Let's start with the agentic robots. What makes them special? What are they for?
They're all about autonomy and collaboration, working with us, helping us, learning from us, even anticipating our needs.
So robots as partners, not replacements.
Exactly. The key is AI that understands human intentions, communication, adapting to new situations.
That sounds really hard. How are they doing that?
They're using advances in natural language processing, computer vision, machine learning to create AI that can understand our language, gestures, even facial expressions.
Wow. So they can follow instructions and understand the context
Yeah.
and change how they act.
Yes, that's what makes them so valuable. They can anticipate our needs, offer suggestions, learn new tasks just by watching us.
It's a whole new level of human-robot interaction.
Exactly. Agentic robots could become true collaborators, helping us do things we never could alone.
Okay, that's agentic robots. What about self-driving cars? What are the challenges and breakthroughs there?
Self-driving cars are probably the most well-known application of AI in robotics, the ultimate test of AI's ability to act in the real world.
Yeah, they could change everything about transportation, make it safer, more efficient. But there are some big challenges.
For sure. The biggest one is safety. They need to navigate complex environments, make split-second decisions, interact with drivers, pedestrians, cyclists.
It's incredibly complex. How are they making them safe?
Sensors, cameras, AI algorithms understand their surroundings, and they're training these systems with huge amounts of real-world driving data so they can handle anything.
So the AI is always learning and improving, making better decisions.
Exactly, and they're developing backup safety systems, like a co-pilot that can take over if the AI can't handle something.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
They're taking safety seriously, which is important for everyone to trust this technology. What about humanoid robots?
Those are the ones that look like us, capturing our imagination, even making us wonder what it means to be human.
I find them fascinating and a little creepy. What are the challenges there? What are they being designed for?
Replicating the human body is really hard. Moving gracefully, balance, dexterity, millions of years of evolution. Not easy to put that in a machine.
We don't realize how complex our bodies are.
But they're making progress, using new materials, sensors, actuators, making them more and more lifelike.
What will we use them for?
Elder care is one area, helping with daily tasks, companionship, medical monitoring.
That would be wonderful.
What else? Dangerous environments, disaster relief, exploration, space travel, going where humans can't.
Partners in exploration. Okay, we've covered a lot. AI. Robots. Feels like a tech revolution.
It's a really exciting time, and Nvidia is leading the way. I'm optimistic about the future.
Me too. But we need to be part of shaping this future. Talk about the ethical implications, make sure AI is developed responsibly, and that it helps everyone.
Absolutely. We're creating the future of AI. And by looking at both the potential and the challenges, we can make it innovative and humane.
I love that. Okay, let's get into the specifics of what NVIDIA is doing.
Let's do it.
So we talked about the big picture. But what is NVIDIA actually doing to make this happen?
It's a multi-pronged approach: hardware, software platforms, and a whole ecosystem of partners.
Like building the whole infrastructure, not just the cars.
Exactly. Let's start with hardware. Those Blackwell GPUs, what makes them good for AI?
Yeah, we touched on them earlier.
Well, they have raw power, but it's more than that. The Blackwell architecture is designed for AI. Tensor cores, specialized memory.
Okay, so they built a custom engine for AI, optimized for speed.
And efficiency.
Oh.
But they're also building entire systems around those GPUs.
Not just the chips themselves.
Right. They have systems like DGX H100, AI supercomputers designed for research and development, multiple GPUs, tons of memory, high-speed connections, a powerful platform for AI.
Like a race car with a whole pit crew. But those systems must be super expensive, only for big companies, right?
Well, that's where Project Digits comes in. Remember that tiny AI supercomputer? Same power, smaller package.
On your desk, with the whole NVIDIA AI stack. Crazy.
It's democratizing AI. Students, startups, artists.
Everyone with AI superpowers.
Yeah. But you need the right tools to use that power. That's where software comes in.
The platforms.
NVIDIA has a bunch of software tools and platforms to make building AI applications easier. One of the key ones is NVIDIA AI Enterprise, a whole software suite for developing, deploying, managing AI models.
A toolbox for AI developers.
Exactly. Tools for data prep, model training, optimization, deployment, even monitoring. It's a complete solution, simplifying AI development.
That's helpful, especially for new developers. But what about specialized applications? Robotics. Self-driving cars.
They have platforms for those too. Isaac for robotics, a bunch of tools and libraries for developing and simulating robots. And for self-driving cars, there's D-Drive, software, hardware, tools, all for autonomous vehicles.
So specialized platforms, tailored for specific industries.
Wow. But hardware and software aren't enough. You need a community, developers, partners, to build a real ecosystem.
So a third prong.
NVIDIA is fostering a big AI community. Programs like NVIDIA Inception, supporting AI startups, and the NVIDIA Deep Learning Institute, training and certification for developers.
They're not just selling products, they're building a community, nurturing talent, so AI can grow.
It's about collaboration, bringing together the best minds to solve the biggest problems, a global brain trust, with NVIDIA at the center.
Incredible. But let's get back to the ethics of AI. We need to be careful with this tech.
Absolutely. As AI gets more powerful, we need to be responsible. Think about bias, jobs, AI being used for bad things.
It's like a new species. We need to guide it.
Yeah. We need to talk about these things, set guidelines, build safety mechanisms, make sure AI is used for good.
Right. Excitement and caution.
Nvidia is taking this seriously. They're talking about AI ethics, building safe and reliable systems that help society.
It's good to see a company like that leading the way. Gives me hope for the future.
Me too. It's an amazing time. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Well, we've covered a lot. GPUs, tiny supercomputers, robots learning, ethical questions, a deep dive into Nvidia and the future of AI.
A wild ride. So much is happening in this field. This is just the beginning.
I think we'll be back soon, talking about even more amazing things.
I'm sure we will. AI never stops evolving.
All right, it's time to wrap up this episode. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of Nvidia and AI.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Quarterly Call. For more episodes, please remember to rate and follow our show. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.